Jesus, I haven't seen you for ages. How long has it been? Was it 1,000 years?
Mr. Lao, you know 1,000 years with me is like one day.
Oh yes, I know. In our religion, time has no meaning either.
So, what wind brings us here, Mr. Lao?
Well, you may say that it's a scientific test. It's a profession. I am conducting a test to see how you will react and how can you resist the aroma of good coffee.
Well, you know, I have been tempted before.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. And well, yes, I know you've been tempted many times, but my colleague told me many things about how bad coffee is, like the caffeine, and people getting heart attack and things like that from it. I am Chinese. I only drink tea, and just green tea for me. So I will know. Can I get some input from you?
Well, you know that my saying is that it's not what goes in a man that defiles him, but what comes out.
Wait a minute, that reminds me, I gotta go. Okay, I'll do it later because I have, out of respect for our conversation, we must continue.
You're funny, Mr. Lao.
I learned it from the Laughing Buddha, my other friend. You may meet him later.
Well, I hope to meet him again.
Okay, sure. And well, let me see. My thesis is, well, you know, as you know, I taught at the Chinese Imperial College for many years, and I taught many students. They keep asking me the same question, and I'm still searching for the answer for that myself, and I like your input in that. And one question keeps popping up.
Well, what is the question?
Well, the question is that does God exist?
Well, the answer is yes.
But how do you support that? How do you support that with scientific data and facts?
Well, can something come out of nothing?
Well, in the past they would say no, but today there are people, very intelligent people, who will say yes in some cases.
Quantum physics.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. You even know about that. That's good. I mean, is there anything you don't know? For example, you know, quantum physics says that, tells us that particles, which is matter, can appear and disappear out of empty space all the time, spontaneously.
Well, do they have a name for this empty space?
Well, yes, they call it the quantum sea of virtual energy, and I know it's a long, fancy name, but that's what they call it now.
Well, I am familiar with that ocean.
You are?
Yes, I am. Indeed, I have swum in it several times.
Then you must create a free whirlpool in there, huh? Well, let's drink to that. Have some tea, by the way. But seriously, that's why they're thinking that there's no more need for God because it's all matter.
Well, you did mention the word energy.
Yes, I did. They call it virtue energy.
Where do you suppose this energy comes from?
Well, according to the second law of thermodynamics, energy is never created or destroyed. It only changes form, and it seems to be eternal. No beginning and no end.
Well, you're beginning to sound a lot like me, Mr. Lao.
Yes, that's true. That's true. It does sound like you're teaching. And I kind of see where you're going, because in fact, a linguistic colleague of mine told me that there is a Greek word for spirit in Greek is energia, which is where the English word energy comes from.
Yeah,
there may be a connection.
Yes, and in Hebrew we would call it ruach.
Really?
Yes.
Hebrew. Oh, that's right. Your mom's Jewish, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. And I always thought you were Spanish though with your first name.
Well, why would you say
Jesus,
that?
right? Jesus is a Spanish name, isn't it?
Well, can there be a Spanish Jew?
Well, of course, yeah. We've been mixed up ever since the Tower of Babylon, right?
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, you remember that too? Wow, you have a long memory. I mean, and anyway, yeah, it's true. It's true. Many cultures have a different name for this energy. For example, my people, the Chinese call it qi, and the Japanese call it ki.
Well, I am familiar with qi. In fact, I am familiar with qi because I do study martial arts. And I applied the concept of simplicity to my people's religion, much like Bruce Lee applied it to Jeet Kune Do.
Wow, you know too much about people, the Chinese, and well, I thought you were born in the Middle East and only care about your own people.
Mr. Lao, I care about all humanity.
I know you do. I have seen examples of it. And but do you think this energy we talk about is intelligent?
Well, how would you define intelligence?
Well, personally, I would say my own research indicate intelligence is defined by self-awareness and ability to change.
And have you observed this in nature?
Oh yes, yes. I have observed animals, plants, the moon, the stars, and the sun. You know, they all seem to follow a very orderly path. And to me, they're all alive in my book.
I read your book and it's very good. And it talks about concepts that I also love to teach, even though I haven't wrote it.
Oh, that's yeah, that's true. That's true. We agree on many things, and I even read the books that your friends wrote about you for many years, and they debate over it too many years, and you know, there's a lot of similarity in our teachings.
Yes, and I like the parable of the grass and the big tree. And when the wind blew, the big tree was uprooted, but the grass, being meek, survived.
Well, and I remember you're saying, like you always said, the meeks shall inherit the earth.